Control-E, and there you go.
And we're in. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Hey, guys, welcome to the, let's go back. Again, Jeff, so we'll deal with it. Hey, guys, EasyBridge, appreciate you guys being on this webinar. Tell you a little bit about us. There we go. That is Jeff there out of his house, what I just found out on the beach. Pretty nice. But EasyBridge, we've been around since about 2008, and a well-funded company out here in Draper, Utah, where we focus on short and long-range communications, wireless communications, and very, very solid product. You're gonna learn to fall in love with these things, partially for the margins, but just because of the reputation we've got here. We also develop customer-specific products also if we need to. So a little bit about who we are. We develop all these products in-house. We test them here, our bridges. We do everything in-house so we know what to expect when those calls come in. We've got a great reputation. When you hear about EasyBridge, you're going to find out good things about us. They are FCC certified. And you see the fourth bullet point, quick turnaround on fixes. If there's an issue, we want to know about it. We're going to fix it. We're going to make these things solid out there. So if your customers have issues, you don't need to handle it alone. We're there for you. All right? The hardware platforms, long-term testing there. We want to know before it happens what's going to happen. So we understand what's out there and what's going to happen. Our pre-shipping production test is very important to us, and that is so we know exactly what the customer is getting. A lot of customers, as you guys know, have issues with it. They'll say it doesn't work. Well, we know when we sent it out, it was working. So 99% of the time, we know it's still going to work when they get it. It's usually just a reset, which we'll discuss a little bit later, just a foolproof button there that solves 99% of your problems. So we'll talk about that later on. The components in our designs are maximized so that each component is used to its maximum potential there. Very high-grade components there. And we assemble and test everything right here in the US of A. Our software, very intuitive, we're going to talk about that later on, but configuration is just a fabulous, fabulous software program here. Our ship from stock philosophy is the fact that we have these in stock 99% of the time. Very rarely do we ever run out of these bridges, even though we sell hundreds of these things a week. So our operating system, a very stable Linux-based code here. You know what I'm going to do on this webinar? I'm not going to go into the tech side, because those of you that know it already know it. I don't want to bore you, and those that don't, it's going to go right over your head anyways. This presentation is on Microcom's website, or it's been emailed to you. So feel free to go back and read about the tech side. So a little bit about what we do, a little bit about our applications. Throw out one just right here in our own backyard here in Utah. Very standard. Customer has 2 buildings. County says, we're going to charge you a fortune to trench that road, not an option. So what do? The owner of this building actually had 2 T1 lines going into each, one in each building. So he's spending $150 on each building just to get an internet connection to run VPN routers. Problem was the connections weren't very reliable. So it didn't matter how much he paid for that connection, it still would take his network down. Very simple. He put an EasyBridge up, an antenna on each building, which created a high-speed 15 megabit reliable point-to-point link, which instantly improved performance. Not only that, he was able to cancel his T1 line to building B, saving him $150 a month. So how fast does that turn around? 2 months return on that one? You're going to find out these EasyBridges are solutions that people just don't know about. Once you've started to use them, you're going to fall in love with these things. They work everywhere. We've got them all over the world right now. This actual application, the customer had to turn down the power because he was so close. So our bridges, they run 3 to 4 miles. So pretty good. Some of the applications, I'm going to go through these bullet points just because they're important to know. Most of the installations we do are less than 1,000 feet, even though they will shoot 3 to 4 miles. Very common, connecting your house out to your garage or workshop or a barn. You connect your house to your office. You can think of all these applications: 2 office buildings in a office complex, or if you just want to share your internet access between you and your neighbor or your family down the street. We have these set up for electronic signs back to the central controller so they can do everything from their desk. Or very, very popular now is the surveillance industry there, security industry, connecting their cameras, bringing them back to their central command post there. You connect your remote servers, but the very bottom bullet point, that's probably one of the most common with layman there, and that is simply replacing the redundant internet connections. You could do it with someone down the street, a few miles away. You can share that internet connection. And it's a very high-speed, reliable link. We have different frequencies for speed, for bandwidth there. Moving on here, I hope. The specs here for our antennas also. Again, technical stuff, guys. If you want to see it, come back here and read this. We have 2 different frequencies: the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz. So those are specs for the antennas. They are point-to-point. We'll go over the differences there, the brief differences there. But very powerful antennas. Again, 3 to 4 mile range on these antennas. Let me give you a different application to give you an idea what people are using these for. You see the company headquarters up top? That customer would run conferences down there at the conference hotel. And during the conference, his customers would need to access web pages on the company's intranet. But they found out, as you guys have done yourselves, I'm sure, 30 people trying to access the company's intranet through a hotel internet connection, not the greatest idea. But since it was a temporary link, he didn't want to install anything permanent with a hotel. Solution, he mounted an easy bridge on the roof of his building, the company HQ, and then whenever he would hold a meeting, he would take a tripod and mount another antenna, the other half of the bridge, at the hotel. Found out it could handle around 60 of his customers accessing the company intranet. Hotel loved it because they weren't bogging down their line, their network, and they had a reliable link now that they didn't have to worry about. Great solution for them and paid for itself instantly on that one. So again, you can start to look at the different applications that you could use this for. We have one, he's a reporter, he goes to high school football games. He always takes all of these bridges with him and shoots a link from the office up to the field, the skybox he's at, in case they don't have internet. I mentioned we talked about the different frequencies. Which one, 2.4 or 5? Very simple. A lot of 2.4 gigahertz devices out there, but it's more forgiving. So trees, you can blast through trees, you can blast through houses. You can fight through a lot of issues, so it's not affected by the weather. The problem is a lot of devices out there. If you're in a dense downtown area, you could have a lot of interference there with those. Hence the 5 gigahertz comes out, higher speed, more bandwidth there, not affected by interference with any of those 2.4 gigahertz devices, which is nice. But, and everyone has a big but, it requires good line of sight, meaning you need to have a clear line of sight for the 5 gigahertz. We get a lot of calls during the springtime where people say, you know, my connection went down, it was working great during the winter and something happened. You know, we call those leaves. When the trees start to bloom, all right, both of them plug-and-play devices, and we're going to go over what they are now. Our Easy Go is exactly half of our bridge. So you set these up as an access point, a router, a client, connect to an existing network, bring in the signal. I'm not going to even go through these bullet points here, but you can come back and read these. But very simple. We have each frequency here. If you have a network you want to access, throw an Easy Go up, pull it in. It's a huge antenna there. The bridge, what we've been showing you some of these applications, same thing, just it's 2 Easy Goes. So when you look at the products, what are you going to sell them? A bridge is a full, complete set. So you have a point-to-point link, complete set. You have everything you need there. Very, very simple plug-and-play solution. So the Easy Bridge 2.4 gigahertz, that's our specs for that one there. So it's a 15 megabit link, whereas our 5 gigahertz is a 20 megabit link. Very, very popular out there for standard usage, internet, connect to intranet, to take out internet connections, just to connect to your network. Great, great solution. We do have a bigger one, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but let me throw out another idea here. What one of our customers did, I'm thinking this was Iowa, there you go, Baxter, Iowa. His house here, H1, that's where he had his main computer and his internet. But he wanted to be able to expand his network to his other buildings. Very simple. So what he did was he installed an Easy Bridge at his house and one at Building A across the county road there. This gave him a high-speed connection, point-to-point link. Perfect. He also wanted to get internet at his son's house up here at H2, along with some other issues. He had some temperature and humidity sensors in Building D. He wanted to be able to monitor those directly from his house. So the bridge between home and A, and then he set up an Easy Go at each of these buildings with an extra Easy Bridge from home one from his house to his son's house. He set this one up as an access point at H1 so that it would connect to all of his buildings. So now he could monitor all of his buildings from his house at the same time sharing his internet connection with his son. Very simple. That's how these work. And again, they're plug and play. A little bit of configuration if you want to start adding pieces to it. But when you start to get to the price, the value of what they have now, you don't have to sell these things. You just tell them this is what it is and people will buy them. It really is that simple. That's a solution they don't have because they don't know about it. We've talked about the Easy Bridge, the 0214 and the 0519. This is our monster, the Easy Bridge Ultra, 100 megabit connection. This will be more for the corporate user, downloading some big CAD files, just a higher bandwidth here. So again, plug and play, very simple use. And the reason people don't have them is they don't know about them. When you take the price into consideration on these and what it provides, you just tell people about them, they will buy from you. Great, great solutions for you guys. If you like missions. Throw out a couple other things here for you now. A little bit newer, our Easy Base. This is, again, an outdoor product here. It's a wireless base station with battery backup. So this is a great solution for noisy environments, power environments. Think industrial factories. If your AC power is fluctuating, there's noise due to motors and other equipment turning on and off very frequently. The Easy Base provides a filtered, clean power to electronics. So you mount one of these right in the middle. You'll see the antenna here on the right gives an omnidirectional antenna, gives you 360 degrees, and you can swap out that antenna for a larger one. So send it a signal as far as you want. But to provide the clean power in factories, or let's say wet processing factories, harsh environments, you have a weatherproof enclosure that protects it from moisture or dust. That enclosure also will shield electronics from electromagnetic interferences. So very typical for wireless gear to be affected by those. Important for critical applications. Think about remote surveillance systems, sensor systems that can't accept loss of data or downtime. Perfect solution, access point with a battery backup. It keeps it going. If your network manager wants to keep a wireless network up 24/7, great solution here. Just drop them in. These became very, very popular out in campgrounds. People threw these up in RV parks. Very important in the industrial factories. So Easy Base has become a great, great solution for many customers now. All right. We have those also in the 2.4 or 5 gigahertz range. The newest product we just added is our solar base. Same idea. You take our Easy Base and add a solar panel to it. This now can be remote and off-grid solution, where you can just drop this in the middle of a ranch out in the field. If you just have somewhere you can't trench or just can't get power to, our solar-powered access point now will provide that for you guys. Pretty amazing. This one, the solar base comes with a lithium battery, so a 24-hour backup on 3 hours of peak sun. Keep it running. Great, great solution now. All right, a little bit about another application. This is a fun one we had to design, but when you find out the solution, how simple this is, you had up in the top right corner their corporate office up here, and he had to monitor some HVAC in buildings A, B, C, and D. As you can see, he simply installed Easy Goes at A, B, C, and D buildings. That was it. They all came back to D, were connected to his bridge, shooting back to his desk. So he was able to monitor all of the HVAC, all of the systems from his desk, just by adding 4 of those Easy Goes and a bridge. So a solution, you know, $500 to $1,000 for complete control over those systems. And our systems work that way. It just takes a wireless connection and sends it back. Some of our highlights, design highlights here, toolless installation. You can mount these without any tool, just the wing nuts on there, either on a pole or you can flush mount that right to a wall. Weatherproof housing, UV protected, Cat 5 cable hanger, and weatherproof bottom. So we'll talk about what's inside there in a second here. But our support is, again, unsurpassed here. We have on our easy-bridge.com site some how-tos, which we constantly add to. We have firmware upgrades. In the area. What we add here is anytime customers have a lot of questions, we're going to add more notes on here. So these will answer 90% of all the questions you could have. Great support page there, and fun if you especially want the technical knowledge there. Our discovery tool I mentioned goes out and searches out Easy Bridges. This will give you the important information you need, and you can instantly know if you're connected to another one or not. Our user interface, complete control over your access points, over your bridges, over your links. So you can change these point to point, you can change it to access points, to repeaters, you can do site surveys, pretty much anything you need to control This will do it. Very, very intuitive, user-friendly here. So customers will enjoy actually playing with their own. There's the most important feature of our bridge right there, the reset button, because this set resets it to exactly how we ship them out. So we know they're working when they got them. For some reason, they're not working now, and customers rarely want to tell you what they did. We make them reset them both, and magically they work again. Then we get them into the user interface, and we help them configure them for them. So very simple, guys. Our easy bridges, plug-and-play solutions, cost-effective. The value is there. So Jeff, what kind of questions do we have?
Okay, just a couple of them so far here.
Okay.
One of them was on the solar base unit,
Mm-hmm.
on the ESB 2400 and the ESB 5000. Was that
Okay.
what? It was the size of the actual panel itself.
That's a 60-watt solar panel. So what are those guys? About 3 feet, 3 by 3s.
Okay. And then there was another one. Here, where'd it go? On the one that had the point-to-multipoint you were showing at the farmhouse.
Okay. With these, okay.
How are those configured?
Those are configured. He had. Well, there are 2 different ones. There was one from his house across the street. That was just a bridge, so point-to-point link. And then he put another easy bridge up from his house to his son's house, but he configured the one at his house as an access point, and all the other buildings and his son's house as clients, so they could all access the access point from his house. Does that answer his question?
Okay.
And again, the user interface, right into the mode there. We can switch them around. Fun to play with because we have that reset button. Play around with them and reset them if you mess it up.
Okay, and that looks like all the questions I got on so far here. Anyone else have any questions?
We're here for you guys.
Okay, well,
we are here if you guys need us.
Wrap this up. We're just about there at the 30-minute mark. So, Lee, thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, you can contact your Microcom sales rep, or you can send an email to sales@microcomtech.com. This presentation it's been recorded, so it'll be up on our YouTube page by tomorrow. So if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to contact us. Lee, thank you again.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Have a good day.